In the Voice of the Twin Tiers segment, I want to welcome back Eric Massa.
Good to be here.
Deja vu all over again, Eric. You're running for Congress once again in the 29th Congressional District, and your one opponent, David Nachbar, also a Democrat, has quit the race, which is probably good because no one knew who the hell he was anyway. He was actually a senior vice president of human resources for Bosch & Lomb, but people didn't know who he was. So now you're the only candidate in the race. Randy Kuhl is the incumbent, a Republican. He has not declared that he's running again. So I guess my first question is this. Do you think Randy Kuhl has been a failure in Congress? And if you're elected, what would you do differently?
Well, first off, it's good to be back here, and thank you very much. There's been much in the news over the past couple days about statements made by Randy Kuhl with respect to some protesters who staged a 7-hour sit-in in his office. And he then went to an editorial board and declared he was going to start packing. His words. When asked what that meant, he talked about packing a gun. This is incredibly irresponsible. Members of Congress should not lower themselves to using gangster terminology, nor should they implicitly, or by inference, threaten citizens with the use of deadly force when all they're doing is conducting a sit-in. I believe this makes it much harder for people like me who fight every day to defend the Second Amendment. It's all about responsible ownership of guns.
Okay, Eric, let's interact here. Say Randy Kuhl. Randy Kuhl, I think, mentioned that there is a problem with security in general. This happened. He said people have the right to protest as long as they don't go over the line. As an American, if he wants to have a gun as a congressman, why not?
He absolutely can, and I fight to support that. But there's a difference between fighting to support for the proper use of carrying guns and threatening people by telling them, I'm packing. This kind of gangster terminology...
Do you think he was really trying to threaten them?
I absolutely...
I don't think so. I
even
really
if he wasn't, it's highly improper for a sitting member of Congress to create that potential perception.
If he wants to be a pistol-packing congressman, I don't mind. Paul, what do you think?
I have no problem with being a pistol-packing congressman. Jeb Bush, the governor of the state of Florida, former governor, he carries a gun. George Bush carried one when he was governor of the state of Texas.
And so did I for 24 years in the military.
And you did in the military, in which you served very proudly, and we're grateful for that. And I do thank you. But, you know, not only is there nothing wrong with it, do you know that at one time members of the United States Congress were required to bring a gun with them?
Absolutely, but the difference here that I'm highlighting is the casual nature by which an incumbent would talk about packing and using gangster rap to describe these
Eric,
things.
I want to get back to my original question. Has Randy Kuhl been a failure as congressman, and what will you do different? That was the question. Can you answer the question?
Sure, and if you judge failure by whether or not you're superglued to George Bush and Georgia's failed policies, you better believe he has. In fact, in the Star-Gazette just a day or two ago, he ran from his record of supporting George Bush and said, oh, by the way, I am skeptical of the success of the surge for which he voted. If you're skeptical about sending men and women into combat where they will be shot and killed, and yet you vote to do that, you are either playing with the lives of the United States military or worse. So yes, it is a failure, and it's about a higher standard of leadership and electing someone who's going to lead and not follow George Bush.
And obviously you're against the surge, so that's something
I have been on the record since day one.
Done differently. Yes,
absolutely.
John Herrick.
You know, obviously the Iraq war is a big thing, and I know you're going to be talking about that, but I think also if you take a look at our state right now and the economy and jobs and everything else, I think that's more important right now because the whole thing is to get people back to work. Report today on one of the newscasts talking about foreclosures and all the other stuff that's happening to people. They're losing their jobs. We have a situation right now in Painted Post where people are on strike and they don't think they're going to get their jobs back. My whole thing is, what can we do to the economy in Elmira and Corning and all these places at one time was big. What would you do to help make a difference?
Yeah, 30 seconds.
I'm glad you brought that up because I made note that it's all about jobs, jobs, jobs. It's not about addictive Washington handouts. It's about educating for the 21st century, a true partnership between industry, government, and education. It's called educating to the economy, and that's where we have to go.
Eric, I need a very quick answer.
Sure.
Barack Obama has said that if President Musharraf in Pakistan does not go after al-Qaeda operatives, then the U.S. should go in militarily, even if he does not approve of that. Yes or no? Do you think that?
We need to hunt down our enemies no matter where they are with malice of forethought and bring them to justice.
Eric Massa, candidate for Congress, 29th Congressional District. Eric, I know you're going to be back.
We'll be back.
I like engaging with you.
Good to be here.